Hello, viewers. Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. How are we all today? Wherever you are in the world when you're watching this, thank you for tuning in. Firstly, I want to begin with gratitude. What a beautiful emotion can take us a long way. You know, it's like having a full tank of petrol when you start to manifest or generate those feelings of gratitude. So I'm grateful for your support of this channel. I'm grateful for your comments, for your donations, for every other way, the emails that you send, the kind words that you give me, the feedback. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for you. All right, so let's begin with Trump in July. If you're like me, and I'm assuming that that you're feeling this way. There's a great deal of anger at the moment. Still, I read on the Russian bounty on US troops. That issue is not going away. It just keeps getting worse. As I felt, he did know. It was only a matter of time before that truth came out. He was lying when he said he didn't know. He was briefed not just once, but apparently, according to the media, as far back as 2019. So in that reading, if you haven't seen it, the signifier card of the three of swords indicated that he is bound to Putin, and that is going to cause him loss. Now, I think we have the Supreme Court ruling on his tax returns and financials, I think next week, but I'd have to check on that. So we're going to watch for that. But aside from that, there's just more and more whistleblowers coming out, talking to the media. We have the Lincoln Project and other Republicans against Trump, and then a veterans group as well, releasing clips, videos, ads, which are actually absolutely slamming this president. How anybody could have anything to do with him, including Australia, is beyond me. We'll test the mettle, won't we, of the leadership in all of these Western democracies around how they interact now with Donald Trump, when it is so publicly on the record, when his actions are so transparent. I watched a clip of an Australian journalist give information to the House around those protests in front of the White House. The Australian journalist and her cameraman were beaten, were hit, there was violence against them by the police, and they were only covering the protest. They were one of many media journalists and other cameramen and other personnel who were, I'm just going to say, attacked by police during that peaceful protest in front of the White House, where William Barr authorised force to be used. Let's face it, we'll call it what it is. Now, Barr should be impeached. That's my view. Not just for that, but for many things. But unfortunately, I don't think the House is going to do that. Will he appear? He's been subpoenaed, I think, toward the end of July. Will he appear for that subpoena? We'll read on that later. What I want to get to now is Trump in July, to see what's coming up for him. So I'm using my classic deluxe Lo Scarabeo tarot for the baseline, and then I'm going to switch to my cosmic tarot for the clarifiers. So let's get started. Let me tune back in. Trump in July. Show me Trump. Show me Trump in July. So I'm feeling that there's a message coming. Now, I don't know what that means, but some kind of message which will be important. Let's drill down and see what we can dig out on that. Show me Trump in July. Show me Trump in July. It might be his communications with Putin, because I'm just seeing him with a card in his hand, something that he's gotten from, behind the bush, some kind of clandestine message there. So it could be that his communications with Putin might come to the fore or be put in focus for some reason. All right. Show me Trump in July, Spirit. Show me Trump in July. Well, the Trump in July. Show me Trump in July. Yeah. People are using their intuition now. Where they were switched off before, they're not anymore. Eight of Pentacles. This is, I better get my calendar out, but this is for the first week of July. Eight of Pentacles. That's generally my card. Well, it was my card for how he might have made his money, but it was also Moolah following the money trail as well. Something around the money trail, his business dealings will be prominent in the first week of July. Let's keep going. So we've got the first week. It's all Pentacles. The second week. So we've got week beginning. Well, we'll start it with the 29th of June, which is this, and then we've got the week beginning the 6th, which of course is the Nine of Pentacles, luxury, how he might have made his money. Then we move to the week beginning the 13th, something coming forward very, very quickly in that week beginning the 13th. Then we have week beginning the 20th. Oh, look, I shouldn't laugh because this is, we've got some kind of major truth coming forward. Week beginning the 20th of July. The 27th, we've got this new start, Ace of Wands. In this deck, it's always a fiery hand, fire energy. And when I tuned into this reading, I felt that anger. I feel that there's just this growing anger. The bottom of the base of the pack, we've got the Nine of Wands. This to me is where Trump is beaten. Anyone can see that if an election was held today, he'd lose. And we do have the investigation of him. I think there's going to be celebrations. We're hearing word fairly, I feel, in July. We might be hearing word here. Something around, because we've got a celebration here. Some kind of truth. Now that was also my Moolah card as well. There's so much going on from, judges, voting to, not voting, but deciding whether or not to release the Moolah report, through to Judge Sullivan, what's he going to do in the Flynn case, through to the Supreme Court and Trump's financials, through to every day more and more whistleblowers are coming forward because it's quite obvious now. What we've known for so long is so in our face now, and people are unable to turn away from it. All right, so it's mounting, and this is where the Chariot comes in that third week. It's just a mounting pressure. It's interesting because by the end of July, we've got this Ace of Wands, which is a new start of some sort. All right, let's clarify this Eight of Pentacles. That's this first week in July. We're now at the 1st of July, so we'll just do this first initial week, which of course started in June. All right, so show me this Eight of Pentacles, please. What is this Eight of Pentacles? This is work. This is how he's made his money. That's where the focus is this week. People are again going back to who is he indebted to. Show me this Eight of Pentacles. So we're well and truly this week focused on what he's trying to hide, what is in the shadows that needs to be illuminated. We've got this prenumbral eclipse as well coming up on the 5th and 6th of July, depending on where you're located in the world. That's going to be very significant. That's in Capricorn, 13 degrees in Capricorn. The fact that the moon has come into this reading is significant. Let's keep going. The Princess of Pentacles. Again, this is this money news. I think we're going to get, I don't think it's through the Supreme Court this week. Well, at least I don't think so. But there's still going to be something else that will come out regarding his money. And then we do have the Star. So I'm seeing that North Star. And of course, we have the Sun and the Seven of Cups and the World. Yeah. So his choices, somehow his choices are in the frame this week. What I'm feeling in this initial first week is that because of what has occurred with the bounty on the troops, we're getting this real push toward trying to get to the truth now. It's like the anger is just driving people forward. People are accusing him of treason, of being a traitor. And we do have an indication here with these two pentacle cards. This was always my card back in the Mueller days, of something coming out, and it could be within the Mueller report too. I know that about 300 odd pages were released to CNN this week. Could be something else which is a signpost to what we can expect in the future, because here is my Star card, which is, really it's that North Star that will guide us into safer harbours. So something in this first week, and coming up to the prenumbral eclipse, 13 degrees in Capricorn. Capricorn is the sign of the business person, the entrepreneur, very focused on career. So, and if they're intending to gather financial assets, then they'll be committed to that as well. Very hard working. But something here I feel is going to emerge, or the hint of something around his secrets to do with money. I don't think this is continuation of the bounty, but there's something else here that might emerge this week. Show me this Moon card. Show me this Moon card. Is he benefiting in some way from... the focus is going to come back on how he's financially benefited from the presidency, I feel. And of course, this growing focus on how who is he indebted to? Who is he working for? Let me just put it like that. Show me the Moon. Show me the Moon. Okay, so we've got the Queen of Wands. This is this growing movement to get to the truth. And the Two of Swords, a decision has to be made. You might have pressure being put on those Republicans. We've got Eight of Cups lost. So I do feel that he is making a decision at the moment. There is something around. Now, I'm just going to go out on a limb here because this is for entertainment purposes only. If he is, let's just take the hypothetical. We'll do it like that. We'll take the hypothetical that he is and has been indebted to Putin from the word go, more than just for the release of Clinton's emails, but ties, financial ties that go back. I did a reading a while ago about, he had a series of things that he had to do while he was president, and that he could have had debt wiped off, for example. That sort of thing. The fact that I got that message there, there's some kind of, I feel there's some kind of communication going on with Putin that may come to the fore this month. They may call, the Democrats may call for the transcripts of his communications with Putin. We have multiple whistleblowers that are likely to come forward. Someone, like they did with Ukraine, may now find the courage about in that week beginning, when we've got this Knight of Swords coming forward. The truth is coming out in some way, and it is around Putin. So 6th, 13th, the 20th. Week beginning the 20th, we could have somebody come out and leak something, leak a call. It's to do with Putin. All right, so that first week, watch for Watch for his communications with Putin, perhaps a growing call to make them public, or not make them public, but to bring them before the intelligence or the appropriate committee in the House. All right, people, suffice to say, are focused this week on how he's made his money in the past. Who is he indebted to? Who is he working for? Why won't he hold Putin to task, take Putin to task? Now we get to the week beginning the 6th. Let's have a look at the week beginning the 6th. We've got the 9 of Pentacles. Something's wanting to come out. The High Priestess again. The Moon, the High Priestess, secrets. All right, let's have a look. All right, 9 of Pentacles. Show me this 9 of Pentacles. What's going on here? Week beginning the 6th of July. How luxury, how he made his money. This could even be his daughter Ivanka as well. She often is represented in the 9 of Pentacles. Of course, we've got the Berman matter bubbling away. You know, what case was he working on that they wanted covered up? Let's have a look. This 9 of Pentacles, show me week beginning the 6th. The 6th of July. Show me this week beginning the 6th of July. I think we're going to hear something because this was hinted at in the week before. I think we're going to the prenumbral eclipse is going to bring forward information. I do feel around his finances, the Prince of Pentacles. Look at all the pentacles in this reading. 6 of Wands, there's a victory here of some sort. You know, I saw celebrations when eventually, you know, we do get this. The truth, when we do get to the truth, there's a victory and there's a strength in this victory as well. I do feel it's a victory for us because here's the Star of Hope again. There's a real strength. There's nothing lightweight about the Star of Hope. There's nothing lightweight about hope, even though people will say, no, you've got to fight fire with fire. Sometimes you do, but sometimes also you have to know in yourself, in your being, that there is a balancing out of karma, that there is cause and effect, and there are consequences. And this is what this card is bringing forward. It's possible, yeah, it's possible. At the base of the pack, the 7 of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles. It is possible that we might hear something around his finances in that second week. It's alluded to in the first, and it seems to be there's a victory. There's a victory not for Trump, but there's a victory for us, and it is around finances, financial information here. Because this is the other aspect of the 9 of Pentacles is freedom and independence as well. Yeah, there's good news coming for us in that second week. All right, let's move to, so possibly the Supreme Court. You know, Justice Roberts, I'll try and read before the weekend on Justice Roberts, and let's just see what's motivating him. He's moving and siding with the Liberal side of the bench on critical decisions. Let's see, now we get to the, are we going to hear from the Supreme Court in the second week? And is it going to be hopeful news? Let's just put it like that. Previous readings have shown that at least one of those cases will be successful. The Supreme Court could decide also to hand it back. Now, I do want to, just before I go any further, I do want to comment on the hangman that I got for the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare going before the Supreme Court. I got the hanged man as the outcome. You know, I always interpret that as a stay of proceedings, that they're not going to wind something up. The other option could be that it goes back to the lower, like they just uphold the lower court's rulings on it. So I think overall I don't feel that the Affordable Care Act will cease to exist after the Supreme Court ruling. I do feel that they're not going to go down that track. Now, let's get back to week. The Chariot card is would be a very, if I was sitting in Trump's shoes, I'd be very worried about that Chariot card. This, of course, could be an acceleration too of CV. in your country. But let's have a look. So we've got the week beginning the 13th, the Chariot. So something emerges in the second week of July and it gathers momentum in the third week. Let's have a look at the Chariot. The Chariot, what is this? This is something coming forward very, very quickly, a gathering of speed. If we did have transcripts leaked or in some way something leaked, then this might cause a level of real chaos. Not just headlines, but there would be real worry here. Show me the Chariot in the week beginning the 13th. Show me the Chariot week beginning the 13th. Show me the Chariot week beginning the 13th. Ooh, here's our Three of Swords. Tied, something, loss, heartbreak. Of course, as I said, this could be growing numbers of coronavirus in the US, but there's in Australia, one of our states, we've got a second wave happening there. But this reading was about Trump. So we've got loss and almost can also be divorce, betrayal. This card came out when I read about Trump's ties with Putin. So I'm Seven of Wands. He's going to have to defend himself. There is news coming out about his relationship. Three of Cups can be celebration, but can also be third-party situations. The Republicans, Trump, and the question mark, Russia. There's news coming out here in week beginning. Let me just go back to my calendar. Week beginning the 13th. What's at the bottom of the pack? Strength and endurance. And we do have the King of Pentacles and the World again. And we have our Queen of Cups. I think, and we've got our Six of Pentacles. Okay, there is money news coming out this month. I don't care how it comes out, whether it's the Supreme Court or some other way. Trump's ties with Putin is illuminated in some way in July, and by the time we get to week beginning the 13th of July, it's on, as we say. It's on for young and old. In Australia, that means let the games begin. It's it's the Chariot card. Hang on for the ride because things are going to get full on. All right, let's go to week beginning the 20th. Now, this is interesting. This is a knight, the Knight of Swords. Whenever he appears in the reading, you know that things are pretty grim, that the truth will out, and that one way or another, this knight is not going to let up. So even if Trump survives July, it's not going to end. It's just going to keep on going. This knight does not back off. It's one of the quickest moving knights in the tarot. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's have a look at week beginning the 20th. Week beginning the 20th. Yeah, the prenumbral eclipse is very important. The few days before and the few days after that eclipse. I'll do an eclipse reading before the weekend. All right, so let's have a look at the 20th, week beginning the 20th. This Knight of Swords, week beginning the 20th. Week beginning the 20th. Ooh. Whatever emerged in the second and third week really gets, as I said, Chariot and now the Tower really gets full on. Hang on to your seat because that week beginning the 20th is a doozy. If I can just say it like that, it is huge for Trump. Six of Swords. Okay, so this is moving on. This is relocation, moving on from troubled waters, moving on perhaps from that Tower moment. We do have the Hierophant card, which to me is the government. What's going to happen? Something's going to happen in Congress. Somebody's going to bring something before the House. If the House is sitting and hearing evidence in some matter, watch now. Barr is due to appear toward the end of July. I don't know whether he's going to appear or not. But this Hierophant has, look at the light coming out of his eye. There's going to be, and this is, oh dear. This is something that is heard in the house, or some move from the house, which is aimed at rebalancing. Let's see what's on the bottom of the pack. We've got the 10 of Swords. That week is going to be very, very harsh for Donald Trump. People are going to be demanding answers. They are going to be feeling like they've been deluded. And we have the Knight of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles. This is relating to Trump's the financials. So week beginning the 20th is huge, and I feel that the House or the government is going to have some kind of action there as well. By the time, I don't know about you, but I'm exhausted now because July is a huge, huge month. Let's have a look. It's all around the Trump-Russia illumination. That's where it's at. Let's have a look at the illuminating that relationship. Let's have a look at the 27th, the Ace of Wands, new starts. What's going on here? I mean, the Ace is a positive card. All the aces are positive. This is a plan or a project or something that, people taking up the baton basically and driving something forward. I've always said that they won't impeach him a second time, but never say never. Something's occurring by the time we get to this last week, the 27th. People are demanding, they might even be demanding he resigns. Well, they're demanding that now, but maybe that's growing louder. Let's see what Spirit has to say. What is this Ace of Cups? So I'm getting almost like a Statue of Liberty imprint over this card. So I feel that whatever comes out in July, people are, this call traitor, treason is just growing louder and louder. Okay, so show me this Ace of Wands. Wow. Absolutely, again, trying to find the right words. Appalling, disgusting. Wow. Okay, Ace of Wands, week beginning the 27th of July. Show me the week beginning the 20th. Okay, so people are demanding truth, and they're doing it through, this could be protesting as well. The Ace of Pentacles, new starts, two aces here in the same pool. The Wheel of Fortune, a shift, moving in the right direction. Hallelujah, karma. The Emperor card, okay, control, taking back control. And the Prince of Cups, we've got bombshell information coming out. And loss for Trump. I feel they're calling for his resignation by the time we get to the end of July. There's even more information coming out in that last week in some way. There's a whistleblower here ready to come forward yet again. Of course, the worse things get for Trump, the more courageous people become, because the power is being chipped away. There's a pretty good knowledge that if people turn up in overwhelming numbers to vote in November, there's probably not likely he's going to win that election. That's a logical interpretation. And that makes people a little bit more willing to come forward and put it all on the line. That last week, we've got bombshell news, and it's to do with Trump and Russia, the Empress card. So, I think people are calling by the end of the month. People are actively calling for his resignation. That's what I feel. And this Wheel of Fortune shows there is more than just a subtle shift in the electorate. This is, people, as I said, the anger, people getting angry. We've got the Hermit card, this Virgoan energy. It's interesting, and I thought about this card this morning. Virgo, the Hermit isn't somebody that just meanders down a dark tunnel with a light going, there'll be a light at the end of the tunnel. No, the Hermit does the thinking and the analysis and puts something together to come to illumination and enlightenment. And this is what's happening, this judgment card. This is something coming to an end. What are they coming to this? It takes a lot, doesn't it, to remove a sitting president, to want a sitting president to be removed, beyond just partisanship. But people have got to this stage now. What they're seeing in July, and this is this King of Swords that came forward again, investigations, the truth coming out. What they're seeing in July is it's this abuse of power that they want it to end. And I feel that Trump in July, it's funny because my Knight of Swords made its way into this pack, and it's sitting right here between the High Priestess, which is secrets being revealed, the truth being known, the Tower, and the Ten of Swords. So suffice to say, if I was Trump or a Trump supporter, I'd be very, very concerned about what might come forward in July. So I hope you enjoyed that reading. Thank you again for tuning in. Remembering too that when we surrender and go with the flow, when we stop resisting something, when we know and have faith with that Hierophant, having faith, that Hierophant sees, the light is all piercing. The Hierophant is in a position to do something about something that needs to be addressed. When we have faith and understand that, the truth is emerging and this will pass and this will end, as, as dreadful as, as devastating as what it has been, it will pass. So don't submerge your energies into worrying about whether Trump will be held accountable, whether he will come to justice. He will. He absolutely will. It's cause and effect. It's called karma. There are consequences for what he's done. Instead, remember to be grateful. So when you finish this reading, maybe tell me in your comments one, two, three things, however many you want. What are you grateful for today or this evening? Let me know what you're grateful for, and let's get some gratitude energy going in the middle of all this chaos and karma working its way through and the truth emerging, harsh as it is. Let's get some gratitude energy coming through this reading. Thank you for tuning in again. Thank you.